All right, so here's to another week. Welcome. You're watching KSAT's 9 at Night. I'm Stephania Jimenez, and we have a lot to discuss today, as you can imagine, but we're going to start with good news, and that is that flights at Dallas Love Field Airport are back up and running. As you know, the airport was shut down for hours today after police say that a woman opened fire near a ticket counter. So this started around 11 this morning. The Dallas Police Department says it's not sure what prompted that shooting, but police are saying that someone dropped a 37-year-old woman off at the airport. Investigators say that she was at the Southwest Airlines ticket counter when she went to the bathroom, changed her clothes, and when she walked out, police say she just started shooting at the ceiling. Now, that was, of course, terrifying for passengers. Look at that. A man who was waiting for his flight took the video that you're looking at right now. You can see people crouching down, taking cover as they try to figure out what's going on. Amazingly, nobody was injured, and investigators still have a lot to figure out.
At this point, we don't know where exactly the individual was aiming. For the most of what we're seeing now, she was aiming at the ceiling.
So an airport officer stopped the woman. She was shot in the leg, and we're told that she's in the hospital. Right now, the FBI is also investigating what happened. Lots of anger on display in Uvalde tonight as board members from the school district held a meeting.
And whose job was it to call all of these fine officers in? Because I see more officers here than have ever looked over at our schools. What are y'all worried about? Our kids are dead. What are y'all worried about?
Yeah, you heard there Uvalde parents speaking during the public session. They are demanding accountability. They want the district's police chief, Pete Arredondo, to be fired. The board was supposed to discuss that particular issue this last Saturday, but then the board canceled that meeting. Now, today's meeting was aimed at discussing a new elementary school and a resolution on assault rifles. But family members, they wanted to talk about Arredondo. They want the board to fire him first.
This district needs to clean house. The issues that brought us to May 24th are deeply rooted, long-standing, and we need change. We are asking you, the school board members, to do your jobs.
Now, the board didn't discuss Arredondo during the meeting, but the families say they're going to keep making sure that their voices are heard until he is out of the school district. In other news, police are investigating a death after someone found a body in the northwest side belonging to a woman who had been missing for weeks. Police say the woman was 39-year-old Christina Lee Powell. The medical examiner is trying to figure out at this point how she died. Someone found her body Saturday inside of her parked vehicle in the 11,700 block of I-10 West. Now, investigators say that a security guard checked that SUV because he had noticed that it had been in the same spot for a week. Police say that her body had no signs of trauma. In other news, a San Antonio man charged in 2 separate murders took a plea deal today. We're talking about Jose Baldomero Flores. He pleaded guilty to 2 murder charges. They date all the way back to 2005 when a woman named Heather Mills was killed. The other death was the 2011 death of Esmeralda Herrera. Flores was supposed to go to trial in September, and he was facing the death penalty, but the plea deal that he took today took that right off the table. So now he has a life sentence on each charge, which he's going to serve consecutively without parole. This is something that all parents are asking tonight, and that is whether we can actually contain the monkeypox outbreak. We know that about 2,900 cases have been reported in the U.S., but the CDC is saying that's likely to actually be an undercount. And not only that, it only has details on half of those reported cases. So the White House is now trying to hire a monkeypox coordinator. Now, one of the issues is that states are not required to share monkeypox data with the CDC. The World Health Organization declared monkeypox a public health emergency of international concern, but the U.S. hasn't done that. To make things clear, the monkeypox is rarely fatal, but it can create painful sores. Just listen to a man who experienced it for himself.
I remember clearly that I cried on the phone to her saying that I think I'm going to die because I can't eat, I can't drink, I can't even swallow my own spit.
Yeah, you don't want to go through that. That man who you just heard from eventually did recover from the monkeypox. He's in London. Now, here in San Antonio, Metro Health confirmed a brand new case today. So that brings the total number of local cases to 8. Metro Health continues to remind people to avoid skin-to-skin contact in large areas. Also, things like contaminated clothing and bedding, they can spread the disease. Switching gears now, are you ready? Because the Dallas Cowboys kick off their 2022 training camp this week. They're in Southern California, and guess who's there too? Our very good friend Greg Simmons, who joins us live. Hi, how's it going?
Boy, you know what? So far, so great, because the temperature is down to 62 degrees. I'm a little envious that I didn't bring a sweater this year, but none the case, we're happy we're out here to cover the Dallas Cowboys. A lot of potential this year. We're coming to you right now from the Channel Islands Harbor Marina. I don't know if you can spot my yacht, but we parked it just on the other side of these work boats. They're kind of in the way, or the big white yacht. But nonetheless, we're here for the next 2 weeks, and in doing so, we're going to cover a team we think has a lot of potential this year, the Dallas Cowboys, after finishing 12-5 last year. They were knocked out of the first round of the playoffs. That has to improve this year with Mike McCarthy as head coach, because he has the talent on the team. He's got Dak Prescott healthy. He's got Ezekiel Elliott healthy. He's got an offensive line that may need a little work after the departure of two veterans, but at the same time, he's got a defense to die for. Micah Parsons, who plays both linebacker, defensive end, 13 sacks last year, the rookie defensive player of the year, and at the same time, Trayvon Diggs, who matched a club record with 11 interceptions not done since the 80s by Everson Wall. So the talent is there. Now it's up to Coach Mike McCarthy, who may be looking over his shoulder just a bit, because Sean Payton, remember, used to coach with the Cowboys as an assistant. He's available now. And then there's Dan Quinn, who they paid handsomely to stay on as a defensive coordinator, who could also step in. So barring a stumble at the start, high expectations, one of the top 5 teams we believe in the NFC, and should compete for the NFC Championship. We'll be here for the next 2 weeks to let you know what's going on here in the Dallas Cowboys training camp. Live in Southern California at the Yacht Club. Greg Simmons, KSAT 12 Sports.
Yeah, I want to check out that yacht. All right, Greg, thank you so much. In other news now, one business owner needs help because someone broke into his shop this morning and he wants his stuff back. His name is Charlie DiPietro, and he owns the Monday at Sports Cards Plus business on Lock Hill, Selma. And he says that around 4 this morning, the alarm went off. His surveillance video caught thieves breaking in, taking merchandise, stuffing it into trash bags. Thing is that what they took isn't cheap. Charlie is saying that this was worth thousands of dollars.
Stuff that if they wanted to sell it, they're not going to sell it at the flea market. It's going to be sold on the internet.
Yeah, if you know anything about this, call police, because Charlie is also willing to give a cash award to anybody who can identify the thieves. Have you checked your kid's car seat? Because experts are saying that if you bought it online through a third party, it could be fake. Listen to this. Since January, investigators have found 27 counterfeit car seats in Orlando. They were found while parents were leaving the hospital with their newborns. Now, this is really important because car seats protect babies and could save them during car accidents. So now experts are saying that if you ordered a car seat online and it was missing anchor attachments, manuals, or labels, it may not be the real thing.
If it does not have any of those labels in English and Spanish, if the labels are in another language, that can be an indication that it is a counterfeit car seat.
So what does this mean for you? Well, if you have a counterfeit seat, report it. You can visit stopfakes.gov, and that address there is on your screen. Okay, now let's get you ready for tomorrow. You know it's going to be another hot one. The question is, how hot? Meteorologist Sarah Spivey tells us.
Good evening, I'm meteorologist Sarah Spivey. With a look at your Tuesday commute tomorrow, we're going to be near 80 degrees. The weather should be fine for the commute tomorrow, just humid and warm. And then the high temperature tomorrow should be right at 101, gusts up to about 20 miles per hour from the southeast. Coming up on the Night Beat, we're going to be talking about how many days it's been since we've seen good rain. Hope to see you then.
I know it's been a while, Sarah. Thank you. Okay, now let's think about cooler times. Okay, we want you to mark these dates on your calendar, Saturday, October 29th and Sunday, October 30th, because that is when KSAT 12 is going to bring you San Antonio's largest Dia de los Muertos festival from Hemisphere. This is a big year. Muertos Fest is celebrating its 10th anniversary. Alicia Barrera and myself are going to bring the culture, the music, and the art right to your homes. Muertos Fest takes place Saturday, October 29th, and we're taping the event, and then we're going to air it so that you can see it the next day, Sunday, October 30th. We have all the information that you need to know on KSAT.com. All right, so right now we want you to stick around because on the Night Beat, you're going to hear from a man who's frustrated, and when you hear a story, you're going to understand. Someone broke into a storage unit here in town and stole thousands of dollars worth of his stuff. Now imagine if that happened to you. We're going to discuss what you can do to keep your stuff safe in storage. Plus, we've been short on blood before, and it got better after Uvalde when many of you rolled up your sleeves and donated, but it's happening again. The shelves are emptying at the South Texas Blood and Tissue Center, and we're going to discuss why you should care and what this means for local hospitals. Also this, watch out for this. Tomorrow at 5 p.m., we're going to show you something that you need to see if you or someone you know needs a job or a side hustle. Employment scams have tripled in the past few months because imposters are offering jobs and hope.
Of course, the money was there. It was good money, and it wasn't like outrageous, but it kind of was at the same time.
Yeah, that woman had been searching for extra income, and she visited legitimate job sites, and suddenly she got a promising text message, and then came the job offer with flexible hours and good work from home pay. But the whole thing was really fake. So tomorrow we're going to discuss how to spot an imposter because you don't want this to happen to you. That's going to be at 5 o'clock. Now, before we go, we want to dream together. The Mega Millions jackpot, it continues to rise, and tonight it's estimated to be $810 million. Okay, so the question is whether you have a ticket, and if not, you have until tomorrow night to get one. The drawing is going to be at 10 p.m. Central, and by the way, tomorrow's jackpot is the 4th largest it's ever been. So good luck. I will say the first thing I do is plan a nice little vacation. What would you do? Let us know. Now, for now, we're just going to have to leave it there. Thank you so much for watching the 9 at Night. This week, we're doing the show on Wednesday and Friday, and then next week, we're going to go to 5 days a week. So you're going to see a lot more of us. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Have a great week.